Okay, fourth grade. So far we've talked about dropping that remainder, just kind of ignoring it in certain situations when we don't need it, sharing it, like splitting it up, like the cookie or like the dollar. You can use fractions or decimals for that. And now we're going to talk about two more things you might want to do with a remainder. And one is add it. And this one is very tricky, but something we use all the time. So let's say a family is going on a trip and there are 17 people in this family and they're splitting up into cars, and each car can hold 4 people. My question is, how many cars does this family need? Well, let's see. One car holds 4 people, so there's 4. That would be 8 people. These are cars. That would be 12 people. That would be 16 people. Well, we can't just leave this 17th person behind, right? We can't just like forget about them, and the car won't fit another person. So we're going to have to bring a whole extra car for this 17th person. So we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 whole cars to go on this trip. So we would need 5 cars. And what we did with the remainder is we added 1 to it. So we added. And we added 1 to it because we couldn't just leave that person behind. We needed to do something with that remainder, and it required a whole nother car. I can't bring a fourth of a car. That doesn't make sense. And then another thing we can do with remainders is sometimes a question is going to ask you about the remainder as your answer. So your answer is actually the remainder. So let's think about this one. You need 4 tokens to play a video game at the arcade. If you have 17 tokens, how many tokens will you have left after you used all you can? So on game 1, you use 4 tokens. Game 2, you used another 4. So far you've used 8. Game 3, you used another 4. So far you've used 12. Game 4, you used another 4. So far you've used 16. And still have 1 token left over. So my question says, how many tokens will you have left over? You'll have 1 token left over. So in this case, the 4 games that I played using those 16 tokens, that's not what they were asking me about. They were asking me about what was left over. They were asking me about the remainder. So my remainder is actually my answer, and we used the remainder as the thing that we did with the remainder. So to review, we can drop the remainder, like in the balloon situation when we just didn't need that balloon. We can share it, like with money or with cookies, when we could actually break it up because we do want to use that remainder. We just want to use pieces of it. We can add to it, like in the car situation, because we can't break up a car and we can't just leave that person behind. We need to add a whole extra car. Or sometimes questions will ask us to tell the remainder as our answer. So we're using the remainder as our answer. So drop it, share it, add it, or use it. Those are the 4 things you can do with a remainder. You're going to practice a little bit more, and then you'll go into the lesson breakout room to do even more practice and get your mastery check. Good luck.